Hey guys, it's Alicia. Today I am going to attempt to make apple fritters in my air fryer using as a base the 2-ingredient dough. Now, if you've been watching me, you know I love the 2-ingredient dough. I use it for so many things, and so I thought it would be fun to try it out in an apple fritter. And like I said, I also am going to be doing these in the air fryer. You can bake them if you don't have an air fryer, but I'm going to be doing mine in the air fryer because I love my air fryer also. So I figured I would take you guys along and hopefully these turn out. So let me show you what I'm going to be using for ingredients real quick. So what I'm going to be using for ingredients is, as I said, the base of this is going to be the 2-ingredient dough, which is the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. I'm going to be using around a cup of this. Usually when I do it for dough, I use 3/4 cup to 1 cup flour. But this time I think I'm gonna be a little closer to the 1 cup because it's gonna be fine if this dough is sticky, since I'm gonna not really have to knead it and I'm gonna just be kind of tossing it in the air fryer. So about a cup of that and a cup of the self-rising flour. You're also gonna need an apple, a medium-sized apple. This right here is a Sweet Tango. I just recently found these. They're very, very good. They're kind of a combination of sweet and tart, very crisp apple. So I think those would go good in these. You definitely want to probably use an apple with at least a little bit of tartness to it. So Granny Smith, which is very tart, would be very good in these too, but I don't typically buy Granny Smith, so I don't have any on hand. And as I said, this is kind of a combo of sweet and tart. So I think that's gonna pair really well with these apple fritters. Next, you're going to need a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of nutmeg, cinnamon, and then I'm going to be using some of this Truvia brown sugar blend. I always say I don't like to use the sugar substitutes, and I really don't. But this one I decided to try. It's a brown sugar blend. So it's not all sugar substitute, it's a blend of regular sugar with sugar substitute. So I wanted to try that out and see if I like that a little bit better. So I'm gonna be using about a teaspoon of this. And then for the glaze, I'm gonna be using about 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar and a tablespoon of water. You could use a sugar substitute powdered sugar if you want, but again, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan. And point-wise, I'm able to get away with using this, so that's what I'm gonna do. It really doesn't increase them all that much. So that's what I'm using. Let's jump in here and get these started. So I'm gonna start off with a medium-sized bowl here. I'm gonna dump in my 1 cup self-rising flour, teaspoon cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon nutmeg, a teaspoon of that Truvia brown sugar blend, and then I'm gonna just give that a quick stir together. I'm gonna add in my 1 cup fat-free Greek yogurt, and I'm gonna stir that in. I've got that mixed together pretty well, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside. And now I'm gonna take my apple and I'm gonna core it and chop it up real well. And actually, I think I will peel it too. All right, I've got these cut, cored, and peeled, and now I'm just cutting them in small little pieces. Okay, I've got that all cut up, and I've got kind of an assortment of sizes in here, but for the most part, pretty small pieces. So now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna add that into my dough and mix those in. All right, got that mixed in there, and that dough is really sticky, which I figured it would be. But that's okay, because I don't need to knead it. I just need to get it separated into 4 equal parts, or as equal of parts as I can get. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my air fryer basket. I went ahead and put one of these silicone liners on the bottom of my air fryer. I also spritzed it with a little bit of the olive oil. So hopefully between those 2 things, these aren't going to stick terribly bad. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try and get my dough separated out into halves and then quarters. And I'm going to take each quarter and I'm going to place it in my air fryer here. And then here I'm just taking a spatula to get all of that dough out of there. And then kind of add it to these evenly. Okay, now that I got them in here, I'm gonna go ahead and take my fork, kind of press them down just a little bit. Like that. And now, I'm gonna spritz the top of them with a little bit of olive oil. Now I'm gonna take them, put them in my air fryer, and I'm gonna bake them at 375 for probably about 12 minutes. But I'm gonna check them at about 6 and see how they're looking. And while those are air frying, I'm gonna go ahead and make my glaze, which is 4 tablespoons of confectioner sugar and a tablespoon water. I'm gonna stir these together real well. And I'm gonna set that aside. Okay, this is what we're looking like at 6 minutes. They're still a little doughy, so I'm gonna go ahead and let them go probably at least another couple minutes. It has been 8 minutes on these. They are looking done. All right, guys, I went to take those out and you can probably see that they are still not done in the middle. So what I'm gonna do, or I have done here, is I flip them. I'm gonna spritz this side with a little olive oil. And I'm gonna go ahead and put them back in the air fryer for probably another couple minutes just to get this side browned up. Okay, those are definitely done. They're not nice and brown like the other side, but I'm just gonna flip them over to the prettier side because these are done and I don't want to overcook them. So what I would suggest to do is to kind of flip them halfway through the cooking time that you think it's gonna be. This took a total of 10 minutes, so in the future I will flip them at 5 minutes. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these out, put them on a cooling rack here, and then get them glazed. So my camera cut me off, but I was just glazing these with the basting brush. You could just pour this on however you want to do it. But I'm gonna finish glazing these and then I'm gonna let them cool a little bit. Here they are, they're cooled down. These are going to be 6 points on green. I'll have to run the other 2 colors. They're probably 6 on all of them, but maybe not. I will run those and have those on the screen and down in the description box as always. But we'll have my heavy tray one.
Smell good. That's half the bottle, right?
That is half the battle. Oh yeah, you want to show inside? Oh, they're cooked. They're very moist with all that apple.
Yeah, that's really good.
Obviously, it's not going to taste.
I mean, it's not far off.
Oh, really?
It's not, the dough is really dense.
Yeah, because it's the 2 ingredient dough, which is usually dense.
But yeah, I mean, it's great.
Flavor-wise is good? Okay. Show the inside again, maybe. You think those are all the way cooked? Or maybe a touch more?
Maybe go a little more, yeah.
Okay, like I said, I did 10 minutes, maybe closer to...
I mean, it's not doughy.
Yeah, it's not doughy, and the fact that there's so many apples in there are making the dough maybe look a little moister.
The apples make it moist.
But I don't know. I think, honestly, looking at it, can you hand me a piece? I want to try a bite.
You're a woman that doesn't mind the word moist.
Actually, I hate that word. Okay, I'm gonna try a bite. Oh yeah, that's really good. Like he said, the dough is a little denser, but it does have a very apple fritter flavor to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's really good. And I think that's done enough, personally. But we kind of tend to undercook stuff. I don't know if that's focusing at all. I think it's really good. So I would probably leave it at 10 minutes on our air fryer. And like I said earlier, just flip it halfway through. But yeah, those are yummy. Very good. All right, guys, that is, I wanted to say 2-ingredient dough apple fritters, and technically it is. It's a 2-ingredient dough base apple fritter in the air fryer. I will have the oven time down below also, that I think this would probably be in the oven if you don't have an air fryer. But yeah, these, I think they're probably going to be a lot better in the air fryer than the oven, because the air fryer is going to give them that added little crispness that you have in an apple fritter. But yeah, very, very good. Thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.